Manx Radio Saturday Live Lounge, supported by Villa Gaiety. For the latest What's On information, visit villagaiety.com.
I love that group, and I'm very excited about the fact that I am going to get to go see them. Yeah, I'm going to go see them. I can't even remember when, but I'm looking forward to it. I mentioned that we were going to have a very busy studio, and we do have a very busy studio because we are talking all about Penny Productions today, and the latest production from Penny Productions, which is kind of, I suppose, headed up by, if that's the right word, Jacqueline Morrey-Grace. Faster my Jackie.
Faster my.
It's
Christine.
lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
It's been a little while since we spoke. Now, we sometimes talk about Without Wings, which is the charity, of course, that you head up. But you are an extremely talented performance poet, I would suggest, is probably the best way of suggesting that. And published author, should I say, as well, which is very exciting.
Thank you.
You've got more than one book now, haven't you?
So I've got 3 books now that have been sponsored by the Isle of Man Arts Council, and there is a 4th on its way. So I think I'll probably do that next year. But, well, the idea is to launch that with a proper play. But now I've been working with Andy and Luna and, Owen was already in my mind for the play, actually. But with Amy as well, I think we've got they can hopefully be part of that as well.
So exciting. So Andy's nipped downstairs to get himself a beverage. He'll be back in just a second. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a quick word with Amy now. Now, Amy House, you are, is it called soundology what you do? What would you describe? Just describe what you do.
Yeah, so my business is called Soundology, and I'm a sound therapist.
Sound therapy, that was what I was trying to think of, yeah.
Yeah, and I use sound for well-being through sound baths. So they're amazing for relaxation and switching off and deep rest and all the great things.
I am very lucky to have experienced this, I have to say. Bathing in sound, it's a wonderful thing. But if you were going to try and describe it to someone who's never done it before, how would you do that?
Good question. So most people like to lie under a blanket and get cosy. And then I play different instruments like the gongs and the crystal bowls. And basically it's an immersive listening experience. So you feel kind of cocooned by the sound, and all you need to do is close your eyes and listen. And it takes you to amazing places and deep rest.
Now, I'm guessing you've kind of looked into the science of this and sort of what it does to the brain in order to have that effect. Mm-hmm. Can you give it to us in sort of layman's terms?
Yeah, so it's been shown that sound can obviously influence the way we feel, like music can. And part of that is altering the wavelength of the brain waves. So in a sound bath, quite often people's brain waves slow down. And that's kind of the state that you're in every night before you fall asleep, where you're not quite asleep, but you're nearly there, where it's that lovely, like, relaxing, comforting space. And that's what can happen in a sound bath. So you go to that lovely layer where you're not quite asleep, you are kind of awake, but you're in that very relaxed state. So
who wouldn't want to experience that? Yeah. Oh my goodness. And as you said, you use a gong, you use these bowls as well, singing bowls as well. So I take it each different thing that you strike or hit or play has a different effect on the brain?
Not necessarily. It's more the way that all the instruments kind of merge and immerse and kind of resonate together that creates that atmosphere that helps with the slower brainwave states.
It's very intriguing, and it's all being joined up with this latest production by Penny Productions. It's called Annabelle's Adventures. We're going to pause there so we can let Andy come back in again, because he's come back with his brew now, and we'll chat about what Annabelle's Adventures is and maybe who Annabelle is as well in just a moment with my studio guests. But if you've got any questions for them, 166 177, or you can email studio@manxradio.com. And I'm delighted as well to say we are going to hear some pieces from this latest production in just a few minutes.
2 months since you got back, how have you been?
That is the latest from Noah Khan and Sam Fender together. It is called Homesick, and we are liking that one very much indeed. We're going to hear something from this new production, Annabelle's Adventures, in just a moment. Jackie Morrey-Grace, this is something that's kind of come from your fabulous imagination. Just tell us what Annabelle's Adventures is then, and maybe who Annabelle is.
Well, to begin with, imagination is the correct word. So Annabelle is a character from my latest book, and it's actually a book launch. But it's a show. So I hope people come along and buy the book. That's kind of what it's about, but it's also a show. Annabelle is a character in the book that kind of guides the reader through the various sections of the book, which is a journey of empowerment through creativity in the face of challenge. And it starts off with some harder hitting poems, and then she goes on this whole journey. And so Annabelle developed out of that. Annabelle's Adventures therefore seemed a great name for a book launch show. And from this, I'm kind of like the character Annabelle, but it's not a play as such. It's more certain poems in the book selected as like with Annabelle depicting the various things, but it is about imagination and creativity. So there are two halves of the show. The first half is Portal, very intriguing. Hence the gong.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amy's gong is just, it opens the portal, and it's about the opening of the portal to creativity, which is the most incredible place to go. So the second half is about power. So again, we go into much more powerful pieces in the second half. Well, to be honest, I think after the rehearsal this morning, the whole thing is quite powerful, which is good because March 8th is also International Women's Day.
Very good.
And anyway, the very last poem in the second piece is which I'm afraid is not suitable for radio, is my feminist piece, but it's about a very particular portal, which kind of rounds everything off very beautifully. And we have this gong that goes throughout the whole show.
Because you've gathered some fabulous talent together for this.
I'm so excited. This is a dream come true to me. So when you first said I'm a performance poet, it's taken me like I've been doing poetry now for 7 years. I won a Sam 3 times, which is fine. Great, brilliant. It's given me a brilliant platform, but I don't want to compete anymore. I just don't feel like it's a healthy way for me personally. And I've always thought I'm performance poet, performance artist. I sometimes feel like my work is overbearing. Sometimes it'd be quite intense, exciting. And it's taken me, like probably last year, I realised the right arena for my work was theatre. And so I think now I'm seeing myself more in terms of being a theatrical poet. And Amy and I just had this great conversation about this, because I was saying I feel it makes my work more accessible, because I think if I just stand there and spout my stuff, it can be overbearing to some people. But when I put it in the context of these incredible people I'm going to be working with, I think it makes it, when I say more accessible, I think it breaks down that barrier of it being too raw and too personal and too in your face to being literally theatre. There is going to be interpretive dance from Owen Atkinson and myself to a certain extent, although it's mainly his thing. But we're working together with that. There's going to be Amy's doing this, the gong, the singing bowls, the transitions, the portal, and then Andy and Luna, their music. They're such amazing, spontaneous, improvisational musicians. So that's that's
so there's
what's
music,
happening.
there's dance, there's poetry, there's movement. I mean, this is kind of an audiovisual feast, really, isn't it?
I hope so. That is the plan. A submersive experience.
And we heard from Amy just before about what she does outside of this with her sound therapy. And as you just sort of alluded to, that's not exactly what's going to be happening on the night, because Amy's going to be using her various pieces of equipment and tools and instruments here in a very different way to illustrate, I suppose, what you're going to be doing on stage. And so we're going to hear a little example of this now, which I'm very excited about. So what are we going to hear first?
We're going to hear the Feather Girls. This is our opening piece, and it's the very first poem in my book. So let's hope it goes well.
So we have Jackie on speech, and we have Amy on the gong, and I'm very much looking forward to this. So I'm just going to say, take it away, you two.
We write sometimes in spite of ourselves. Knowing this nonsense world has no time to dwell on our flopsome and jetsam minds. Today that we are word blind and crippled in every distinction, our systems cruelly maimed to imperfection, limbs removed by aliens, altered, then reconnected. Now they deserve only to lie in hospital trolleys, these once honest attachments reduced to promised worries, and only a furnace will do. And later, into that we'll pour our bludgeoned minds too. We, the Feather Girls, half barbed, half flighty, half hollow, half streamlined, half deadly. A smattering of half-hatch halflings clutching the scraps of underling bird frames to find freedom in secret places. The sky, the turrets of majestic buildings, Here blue sticks to our barbs like residual art, whilst behind us the air turns ink black. We, the feather girls, miserly in our stolen glory, mixing our metaphors and the telegraph wires of our flighty imaginations, cackling, crippled, tripped out half-wits, barbs dangerously dipped and poised and drip.
Well, that was amazing. Absolutely brilliant. That is so powerful. You talked about power and having that gong just lifting in the background.
It's beautiful.
It's chills, isn't it? Absolute chills.
Yeah, and the whole show, I think, because we've got so many different elements, there are so many moments where the gong or the singing, but everything brings the spoken word elements together. So it's very exciting.
Oh, really looking forward to it. So we're going to hear plenty more about this over the next 20 minutes or so. It's March the 8th at the Erin Arts Centre.
Yeah.
So that's where you need to go get your tickets. But if you want to hear more, don't go anywhere. We're going to be speaking to Andy North shortly as well about his involvement with it too. But first, here's some kinks for you. It's a supersonic rocket ship here on Manx Radio. Christy with you through till 7 in the Live Lounge. As Dave's just said, isn't it exciting? And yes, it is, because we now have a selection of singing bowls on the desk. I'm so excited about this. We're hearing all about Penny Productions' forthcoming production, which is called Annabelle's Adventure. We heard a piece just before. Jacqueline Morrey-Grace, just tell us about the piece we heard before that you performed.
So The Feather Girls opens the whole book, and the whole book is really, it's a journey, as I said, through about creativity in the face of challenge and how it leads to empowerment. And it's about the power of the pen, actually. So The Feather Girls, it's about the feather, and how even in the worst states when you're, as I was, not a pain actually when I was writing that one, you can take your imagination anywhere you want. You can do anything you want and you're absolutely free. And that's a huge theme throughout the whole of Annabelle's Adventures. In fact, we start off with that one and then we move into a little song and it explains what Annabelle's Adventures is all about. And then, it progresses that way. And so everything is structured around all these pieces being pure imagination.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you're going to do another piece for us now. And now Amy has got her singing bowls. And I can't ask her about it because she's all set up, mic'd and ready for us. I might ask her afterwards. But for those that obviously can listen but can't see at the moment, just explain what's in front of Amy right now.
You want me to explain?
Just describe it.
Oh, well, she's got, I don't know how you describe them, but she's got, I think 5 big white kind of frosted glass bowls that look like lampshades but are much more interesting.
And much more musical than a lampshade. Yeah. I would quite happily have lampshades like that in my house, I tell you, especially if I could go around making noises with them that Amy's about to make. So we've got Jackie and Amy with us, and they're about to perform another piece from Annabelle's Productions, which is an audiovisual feast that is coming to the Erin Arts Centre on March the 8th. What piece are you going to perform us now, Jackie?
This is called Dancing with Angels.
And what's the inspiration behind it?
The inspiration? To be honest, the inspiration came from, I never know what George's surname is, if she's Zapparoli or Lizette, but she's another poet. And she just said, there was something about her theatricality that I loved. And we were talking about clothes one day, and this just kind of came out of that. And just some other stuff.
Love it. That's all we need to know. Thank you. So Jackie and Amy live in the studio with voice and singing bowls. Take it away.
We last met long ago on a sad, lonely day. You said you just lost the best friend you'd ever had. I said I'd lost my way. And your eyes were like toffee and your hands were firm and strong. And my hands felt like butter melting as you held them and whispered sweet nothings, sweet nothings. And I took each and every word of them and carved our future into stone. We danced upon our moonlit joy that night. We threw our pasts into the sea, convinced ourselves not to believe the skins we shed still trailed and bled behind as shadow ghosts that both of us needed too much not to see. You called me sun and moon and stars, I sparked up. I lit the pyre inside your eyes, a Venus to your splendid Mars, your Vulcan to my Aphrodite. And when we stumbled on a box torn and battered in the breeze, You laughed and picked its contents up, a latent fingerprint examining of relics from a long-lost scene, and as you did, a moment passed, and both of us felt the dreams of one whose could have been but could not last. You placed a pork pie hat upon my head. I pulled it off and ran away, then stopped and turned. Well, you had my fag. And so through smoke rings and all those musty clothes and things, we both collapsed, a pair of mismatched conjoined twins, both pretending we were one again, both pretending we could sew and patch our dreams into a different end. Then I woke up. I was alone, uncertain if you'd ever been. A tatty box of old clothes and keepsakes in my arms, your best hat crushed between the pillow seams. And when I went to call your name, I found my lips were sewn together, my tongue buttoned like your sheepskin coat, my teeth strapped in faded strips of shredded leather. We last met long ago on a sad, lonely day. You said you just lost the best friend you'd ever had. And I wept, and I said I'd lost my way.
Oh, just leaving those singing bowls to ring out. What a beautiful and haunting combination of sounds. That was absolutely gorgeous. Jackie and Amy there from the forthcoming Annabelle's Adventures. We'll be hearing more from them shortly. This, though, is Air Windu featuring Alana Lies from off of this very island. The latest from them. This is called Slumber.
Feeling the heat leave my body, reflecting the light on my skin, layered complexities of me, owning the state that I'm in, and I'll decide if it is over. But you'll be there upon my shoulder. I can't wait for this ocean to surround you. It's not fair, holding on like you want to. I can't bear to be trapped in your slumber. It's not fair, it's not fair. Rediscovering my own way, hoping this feeling could last, 'cause I don't want it to be over. So you can climb down from my shoulder. I can't wait for this ocean to surround you. It's not fair, holding on like you want to. I can't bear to be trapped in your slumber. It's not fair, it's not fair.
There's a lot of fabulous movement going on in this studio as we prep for the next piece from Annabelle's Adventures coming up short. Clash and London Calling here on Manx Radio. Well, it's the Isle of Man calling, of course, and it is Annabelle's Adventures calling. We're finding out all about the production, which is on International Women's Day, which is March the 8th. It's at the Erin Arts Centre. We have the final piece of the puzzle that's in the studio, not the final piece for the actual night, because there's more people involved as well, but Andy North's here.
Oh,
hello,
hi.
Andy North.
Hi, Christy.
The final piece of the puzzle.
I know. Well, that's because it's energetic, this.
Yes. How did you get involved with this?
I think we've been helping out Jackie with her wonderful charity, and then she was in the audience when we played down at the Arts Centre for Our World.
Yes.
Our Island. And she just reached out, and so... I don't know if she intuited that weird was part of what we do musically, but
it kind of fits, and it's you and Luna as well.
It is, yeah. So if it's crap, it's Virgil, and if it's good, it's Andy, Virgil, and Luna. That's it. So she's not able to be with us, but.
Next time, Luna, next time. So tell us what sort of instruments and what things you're adding to this production then.
We do have the giant low flute whistly recordery thing from the Mandalorian. I bought it when I heard the soundtrack, and I left it in the other car, so you don't have one of them. But then we got percussion drums, we've got accordions, mandolas, mandolins, whistles, violins, and accordions. Yeah, and we'll make some
beautiful noise.
Some strange sounds.
And I'm going to suggest, Jackie, that actually this is also going to take people on something of a journey, isn't it?
Oh, I hope so. I would like to point out that I know the pieces we've done have been maybe sounded a little bit intense and heavy and all that kind of stuff. It's actually loads of fun. There's nothing po-faced about this. It is completely unadulterated, imaginary fun. We do take people on a journey. We hope that people have a really great experience. That was my whole vision, was to just everybody feels totally moved by this, and they go away feeling like they've actually, that is good. I hope.
Been immersed in something, and it's working, because I love this message that came in. Oh, that made my ears go funny after the last one, which I think is actually brilliant, because that's sort of what you're doing. You're wanting people to react maybe in a different way to what they would normally react to just a bog standard gig or a bog standard performance, because there's so much going on here, and you've got grand plans for it, haven't you?
I don't know. I mean,
maybe take it worldwide.
The amphitheatre down the road. It's maybe like like immediate goal, or maybe like any of the Manx festivals out there. We're up for that. Then we're going to take it all over the world. Of course we are.
Of course you are. Well, your chance to see it on the Isle of Man is March the 8th at the Erin Arts Centre. Where do people go to get tickets?
So Erin Arts Centre, I think it's .com. The tickets are selling. So we've sold over a quarter so far. We've still got 5 weeks to go. So
Incredible.
They are going. So it's just people don't leave it to last minute, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not just spoken word they're coming to see, but it's not just spoken word. It is theatrical. I don't know. I actually don't know what it is.
There's dance, there's gongs, there's Mandolorian music. There's all kinds of good stuff on the go at this event. And of course, it is a book launch. So just give your book a plug as well.
My book?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There are worse places to hide than inside. Secrets is my third poetry publication, but my first collection of poems. And it's a collection of poems between when I started writing poetry 2017 and 2023. Available now in Bridge Bookshop, but will soon be on Etsy under Jackie's Wicked Rhymes.
Fantastic. Well, I am delighted that you are going to do another piece for us now, including Virgil in the background there. So you manipulate your mic, Andy, just put it where it needs to go.
I just need to say,
we
haven't finalised the rehearsal for this one. So we've only really just worked out what we're doing this morning, because we had a brilliant rehearsal this morning. There might be a few hiccups, but hopefully not.
Do you know what? The best place to do something for the first time is on the radio.
Live radio, why not?
Why not, exactly. Well, it's lovely to have you all here. Annabelle's Adventures is what you were looking for at the Erin Arts Centre. And now here is The Anarchist done for the first time. I'm very excited about this. Take it away, guys.
I want to be an anarchist. By the power of the drum, by the power of the drum, attack it, 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 attack it. Your fingertips, boom. Your fingertips, ba ba boom. Skin on my lips, ba ba ba, symbolic of a warrior. By the power of the drum, by the power of the drum. Get ready to ba to see what this wanna be, wanna be. My shadow shooting through the room in shadow shalification. Shut up shall consume by itself an expectation of an unprecedented nation. A babada boom, a babada boom, a babada 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 boom. By the power of the drum, by the power of the drum, I wanna be the power of the drum. I'll not be the one who went easy. Yabba-da-bee, 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 yabba-da-bee. So not feline flutes femininity. I'll not be the one who forgave. Yabba-da-boom bam, yabba-da-boom bam, yabba-da-babba-babba-boom bam. So not the malleable string of a smooth violin or the sweet resonate of an emboldened double bass. I won't be manipulated to perform. Yabba-da-bam. Yabba-da-babba-da-babba-bam, so not the graceful punctuation of trombone or French horn. Instead, I'll become the power of the drum, the power of the drum, the power of the drum, the power of the drum. I'll not shun the power of the drum. Rhythmic, percussive, rebellious, revolutionist, capable of committing atrocities, from firing at furies to virgin sacrificial duties. The power of the drum is a persuasive one. The power of the drum ignites hypnosis. The power of the drum awakens coalition, animalistic proportions, seduces kings, produces orphans. The power of the drum has erotic overtones, but more than all of those, will overthrow those who abuse their position and assumed immunity because of false belief and untouchability. The power of the drum cannot be ignored. Will ignite your cells, will pour for your pores, is never meant to appease, but instead cause feet to beat insurgency. The power of the drum is unforgiving and repentant. It does not wait to catch its breath, but only in anticipation of what comes next. Of what comes next. The power of the drum is as honest as they come. The power of the drum is bored of lies and bored of weakness. The most powerful force in the entire universe. Where will is withered, it will uproot. And I, for one, will not sit still, nor will I be forced to become mute. Apathy affects injustice. I'll be feet, I'll be fingers, I'll be bone, I'll be skin, I'll strip my body bare of everything until they hold the whole will stamp and sing in glorious unification. Against oppression. Against the warlords. Against all the dead beats determined to destroy this world. I will beat. 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 No subtle, soft caress. Just a vociferous twat on drum's outstretched dead carcass. Or you might say my anarchy unlikely. But I became a drum when this hum-dum system stretched me too thin and tried to beat me. High five.
Well done, everybody. That was Jackie and Andy. Annabelle's Adventures, March the 8th at the Erin Arts Centre.
Manx Radio Saturday Live Lounge, supported by Villa Gaiety. For the latest What's On information, visit villagaiety.com.